lesson is on paragraphs. I'm going to break this lesson into two shorter videos. So the first video is going to focus on defining a paragraph and recognizing its parts. Let's start on our notes pages. So here I am on our notes pages, and the first thing we're going to do is define a paragraph. Now, if I were to ask you to define this, you could probably think in your head what it looks like. Usually when you read an essay or a book or a magazine article, it's indented, like this bullet is indented from the left. But could you actually define it for me in your own words? Well, here's my definition. A paragraph is a collection of sentences. I'm trying to center myself here in the camera, so excuse all my movement. Oh, that makes it hard to type when I'm not paying attention. Collection of 7 sentences about one main idea. And that's all a paragraph is. Now, you probably learned somewhere in school that a paragraph needs to be a certain length. Usually students are told 5 to 7 sentences. That's not really true. A paragraph needs to fully explain the idea. And so that could be done in 5 to 7 sentences, that could be done in 15 sentences, that could be done in 25 sentences. So a paragraph should be as long as it takes to fully explain the idea, but minimally it should be 5 to 7 sentences. Anything shorter than that means you don't have nearly enough ideas for your main idea. Now that we know what a paragraph is, I want to spend some time talking about why they're so important in writing. So you want your essays to read like a checklist of main ideas, and the only way to have that happen is to divide these main ideas into paragraphs. So paragraphs tell us where one idea starts and one idea ends, and we can tell by where the new paragraphs start and end when we're done talking about one main idea and we're going on to another one. So think about your experience as a reader, right? You want to read something that is logically organized and that makes sense. So a paragraph helps you organize your ideas. That way, your writing feels like this to your readers instead of like this. So without paragraphs to help us order our ideas from one main idea in one paragraph to another main idea in another paragraph, we tend to just have chaos. We have various ideas coming up in different parts of our paragraphs, and then nobody can really understand what it is we're trying to say. Writing an essay in paragraph form helps your readers logically follow your train of thought. That's one benefit to using paragraphs. The other benefit to using paragraphs is that they help you as the writer stay on topic. Because you know you're only going to focus on one idea at a time, you don't have to worry about trailing off into another train of thought. So let's go back to our notes pages and summarize everything I just said. Alright, so we just learned that there are 3 reasons why we need paragraphs. Most importantly, paragraphs help us organize our writing into main ideas. And once we do that, then a paragraph helps the reader follow along with our ideas, and the paragraphs help the writer stay on topic. Okay, so we now know what a paragraph is. We know why paragraphs are important, so let's take a minute to look at the structure of paragraphs. There are 2 parts to a paragraph. The first is the topic sentence, and that is simply the main idea of the whole paragraph. The topic sentence tells us what the paragraph will be about. The second part of the paragraph are the supporting sentences. That's every other sentence in there besides the topic sentence. And these sentences explain or describe the idea that is stated in the topic sentence. So let's go back to the note pages and jot all of that down. So to summarize, there are 2 parts of the paragraph. The first one is the topic sentence, and this is the sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph. And all of the other sentences then, are supporting sentences. And those sentences explain, describe, or provide examples of the main idea. Alright, so that's pretty much paragraphs in a nutshell. I do want to take a little bit of time and look at some examples of some topic sentences, just to make sure that everybody fully understands this idea. So right now I'm in our e-text. I'm in chapter 2 on page 21. And here's an example of a paragraph that has a topic sentence, and then a brainstormed list of ideas that might go along with that topic sentence. So the topic sentence says, Zion Market is one of the busiest and best Korean markets. And here are all of the ideas. The products are of good quality, the fruits and vegetables are fresh, the prices of the products are low, there are many people, there's a sale each weekend, there are no fights going on between the customers and the employees who work there. I guess that's a good thing. The employees are kind and it is very noisy. Now this is a really good brainstorm list of ideas about the market, but not all of these ideas back up or explain why Zion Market is one of the busiest and best markets. So let's look at a better organized list of ideas here. Okay. So maybe a better approach here would be to get rid of busiest and focus on how it is one of the best Korean markets, thinking that it is busy because it is so good. So when I focus on why it's such a great market, the fact that there are many people there and that it's very noisy don't really fit. So I can cross those off of my list of ideas. Then I can look at the rest of my ideas and see if any of them fit together, which they do. So the products being of good quality with fresh fruit and vegetables, those go together. Low prices and a sale each weekend go together. And no fights between customers and employees and kind employees go together. So even more than those going together, I can now see how this whole essay would take shape, and that's what's in bold here. In bold would be ideas for main points within this paragraph. So I have a main point that there are good quality products, a main point that the prices are low, and a main point that employees are kind. And then what's not in bold would be further details. What makes those products quality? The freshness. What makes the prices low? Weekly sales. Well, how is one way the employers are kind? They don't fight with the customers. So that's one example. Let's now do a practice exercise together that will help us pick out and be able to better organize paragraphs. So right now I'm on the website studyzone.org. This is a really good website that just has a lot of self-paced practice material for a bunch of different topics. So this is from their supporting sentences page. So here we're going to look at a paragraph that has a blank in the middle, right here. And we're going to choose between these possible top sentences which one would fit best in the blank. So our paragraph says, Martin Luther King Jr. was a strong leader. He was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He went on to become a minister like his father was. Dr. King became a leader and civil rights advocate. And then we have our blank. And then after our blank it says, on April 4, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed. Today we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by celebrating his birthday as a national holiday. Well, if I'm looking at the way my ideas are going, trying to follow the writer's train of thought, I have when he was born, he went to college, and then he died. So I'm kind of giving us the time span of his life. So which sentence here fits in with that time span? Martin had a white childhood friend who was not allowed to play with him after they started attending different schools. Well, this sentence is more about racism than it is about Dr. Martin Luther King's life and what happened between college and his death, so that's probably not a good choice. Number 2, his nonviolent leadership and powerful speeches gained him respect from the American people. That's a good possibility. And number 3, we should all honor and respect Martin Luther King Jr. for the work he has done. That's not a bad possibility either. If I look at the 2, remember, I want to try to pick the one that logically fits in with this order. So we have birth, college, death. I'm going to go with number 2, because this is something that happened to him between college after he became a civil rights advocate and after he died. Before he died. Here's another paragraph where we need to pick out a sentence that fits in the middle. Our paragraph says, Harriet Tubman was a runaway slave from Maryland who became known as the Moses of her people. And then we have our gap that we're trying to fill in. The Underground Railroad was a secret network of safe houses where runaway slaves could stay on their journey north to freedom. She later became a leader in the abolitionist movement, and during the Civil War she was a spy for the federal forces in South Carolina as well as a nurse. So let's look at our topic sentence. Our topic sentence is this first one. Harriet Tubman was a runaway slave from Maryland who became known as the Moses of her people. Because this isn't necessarily in a order of birth, college, work, death, like the first paragraph was, let's see if we can pick a sentence that fits that topic sentence. So topic sentence is about Harriet Tubman leaving her people to freedom, like Moses led his people. So here are my choices. Over the course of 10 years and at great personal risk, she led hundreds of slaves to freedom along the Underground Railroad. Well, that seems to be about leading people to freedom, so that could be a possibility. Let's look at the other two. Number 2, there should be a national holiday to celebrate Harriet's achievements. Okay, that might be true, but that's not really about what she did, so that's probably not a good choice. Number 3, as a small child, she was a slave and frequently subjected to severe whippings. That's relative to the fact that she was a slave, but not to how she led her people to freedom. So we'd have to go with number 1 because it fits our topic sentence the best. So in summary, a paragraph is just a collection of sentences about a single topic. It's made up of a topic sentence that states the main idea, and then at least 4 other supporting sentences that explain that idea. But your paragraph could be way longer than 5 sentences, just as long as it takes for you to fully describe it. And you need to organize your essays in this way to help you stay on topic and to help your reader follow along.